All right, looks like we're live. We have Friday, August 20th. Um, damn, right as I'm going live, you see this big spike in the SPY. Just spiked up like $2 on no volume. I would imagine that's gonna fall back down right now. Lost my voice last night. Bear with me. Let me drink some water. All right, hopefully that's better. Let's see here. So I'm just gonna catch up on the chat real quick. Pete, good morning. Board AZ, Low Work, what's up? Joseph, two Josephs, Joseph Scott, Joseph Richards, what's up? Good morning. Um, Scotty, 6'8 Spindrift, Crypto Cello, what's up? Joseph says, good morning, coach. Hope you have a great day to start it off right with the Clove fam. Absolutely. Thank you, everybody, for coming in here early, too. I've been up for a while. I know I texted Scotty a little while ago. He'll be coming on again. I think we're going to try to make it a thing every Friday. Yeah, there we go. Look, so we saw that spike on the SPY right when we opened up with no volume behind it. It fell right back down. Let's see here. Gage says love stock twitch. Yeah, I was just reading about that, so that's what took me so long to get on. I saw the comments, and I think Board AZ said it, so I went on Reddit real quick and read the post about it. That's pretty funny. See what happens. ABGNT says good morning, Clovesters. What's up? Not bad. Got some people in here early. So Clove went down and touched 734 this morning. And we're back up to 772 right now. So actually looking to gap up. But we're still hella lower than where we were at. I mean, if we go back and look, we fell under 8 yesterday in pre-market and never recovered. I earlier on the show yesterday, if we look, I was looking at this right here. The markets in general were selling off, and I think that's pretty much what drug us down below 8. But once we got below 8, I think at that point we started battling short sellers to get the stock back, and we couldn't overcome it. Yesterday we did see. I was looking this morning. It looks like 52% volume in the dark pool. I mean, that's a ton of volume. That's one of the highest days I think in a while. We just looking back here. This is, let's see, day by day percentage of volume going through the short pool or the dark pool, and 52% yesterday. 53% it looks like last Friday, and last Thursday 50%. But other than that, you got to go all the way back to July 26th to see us trading above 50%. But even these days where we're at like 49 or anything in 40 is just unreal. So yeah, I think once we got below 8 yesterday, it was kind of out of our hands, trying to fight our way back and really getting attacked. If we look at short volume that came in yesterday as well, it looks like let me see, I thought I had this pulled up. 44% combined short volume on the day yesterday. So yeah, I'm thinking we're gonna pull back above 8. That's kind of been our our floor. If we go all the way back to let me see here. I know we definitely fell below this yesterday, but we've been bouncing off that 8 for a while. There was one day back here on August 4th where we actually closed below it, and the next day we pulled back above. That's what I'm hoping is going to happen today. That's what I'm assuming is going to happen. We seem to have a lot of support down here at 8, and I didn't realize I still had that open. So I'm thinking we should bounce back. It looks like we're already heading in that direction. It's kind of a steady climb right now. Let me go back to the chat real quick. Moto Guzzy's in here, says stock twitch is funny. Could it work? Messing with the algos. Yeah, I saw that. I don't know what's going on there. Good morning, coach. Have a question for you. I've been doing a lot of reading and came across a rather interesting statement that a company's value is the number of shares times the market cap. No, so it would be the number of shares times the stock price gives you the market cap, and that's the value of the company. So when you see a company right now, let's just take a look. That's basically what makes up the market cap. So you take the outstanding shares, multiply them by the share price, and that's what gets us to the that's what gets us right there to the market cap number. Give me 1 second though. I'm gonna try to fix my my mic. Scotty just texted me and said it was sounding weird. And Tar Heel said my video I put out last night sounded weird too. Jason, what's up? Blah blah. What's going on? KLF. It's a weird rattle with the mic. Let me see if I can figure this out. I don't know. Does that sound better? We'll see what happens. As a follow-up, if there's no dividend on a stock, how does profits actually relate to value? From listening and reading, it doesn't look to me that profits actually affect stock value. Yeah, I mean, so basically, think about it this way. And I know I've said this before, like, sometimes, people get pissed off. Like, I've seen it with GameStop. Like, why isn't the company doing something about the stock price, the share price? Well, why isn't the company, doing something about Clove share price and the manipulation and everything else? I mean, I think at the end of the day, the stock price doesn't really affect the company's day-to-day operations. If they're trying to raise money, then they're going to care about the stock price because then they want to sell some shares to recoup get some cash on hand. But other than that, it doesn't matter if a company can have the worst earnings in the world and the stock could be trading at 5 times, a week later. It doesn't, earnings and all that kind of stuff doesn't really, how much profit they're bringing in has no correlation to the stock price. The stock market is all based on supply and demand and speculation, right? So, typically if a company's doing better, that means that their earnings per share should go up, and then more people will buy it based on what they think future growth in the company is going to be. But I mean, shit, we just saw it with Clove. They had a great earnings report, and the stock's trading lower. So there's really no correlation. A lot of times, those type of reports and earning reports will affect the way that the market reacts to a stock and starts buying a stock. But I mean, look at Tesla. Tesla's trading way above their earnings and what their actual fundamental values are. So Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I don't think, like even with a company like Clove, they don't need money right now. They went with the cashless warrants. They have cash on hand. They're not necessarily trying to fundraise at the time, so it doesn't really, like, to them at least. They probably can care less if we're trading at $7 today or $10 today. Now I know that's going to change right down the road as they continue to grow and expand, and they probably look to sell some shares. Yeah, they're going to want the stock price to be trading closer to fundamental values, but if they don't need the cash today, they don't necessarily care what it's trading at today because it doesn't really affect them. The other thing that companies can do, though, with the share prices, it helps them in borrowing, right? So even if they're not going to sell shares to acquire money to get cash on hand, let's say, the company itself owns a huge percentage of the float. And, right now, let's say, let's just use a round number like a million shares. So that means right now the company would have $7 million in equity, and they could borrow against that. Well, if we're trading for $50 a share, that's now 50 million in equity that they can borrow against. So, in that sense, that helps out the company too. But again, if the company isn't in dire need of cash or borrowing power, they don't necessarily care about the day-to-day stock price. But that changes also, on a weekly, monthly basis as they need capital. Hope that makes sense. Um, Joseph saying one time, baby, it will take one big price target release today to get these institutions to the moon. Yeah, I mean, and I was looking through, a lot of I woke up early today. I know I text Scotty this morning, and he's like, "Damn, man, what are you doing up? It's 3 hour time difference." And I'm like, I couldn't sleep, so I was just sitting here, and I got some other stuff I had to catch up on, and then I started looking through Fintel and like all the 13, all the filings and everything, and just looking how a lot of those analysts went long on the stock. So um, at some point, you would imagine that they're going to release some bullish price targets. Let's see here. Do you think hedge funds are using the money collected from options premiums are keeping us down? Um, kind of. I don't know who posted that video yesterday from a dude named Scotty, I think, about like it was called like Goodbye Gamma or something. Like I forget who posted it, but I went and watched it later on, and dude's actually spot on in what he's saying. But I know this is an unrelated question to what you're asking. Um, yeah, I mean, it doesn't necessarily like anybody can sell options, right? The majority of options, though, are most likely sold by market makers. So, I mean, hedge funds could sell options. You could sell options. I could sell options. Um, and, I know a lot of people are profiting off the, this getting stuck at max pain, whether it be selling puts or selling calls. You know, um, that's just a way of capitalizing and other ways of making money with options. But I don't know if they're necessarily using the money to keep the stock down. I mean, they could be, right? Anyone who's got extra capital on hand can do with it what they please. So, I mean, somebody who's even selling put premiums or covered calls or whatever it may be, and they're getting more capital on hand, can then use that to further try to affect the stock price. God damn, that was loud as hell. Um, my alarm just went off. Let's see. Let's see. I just moved my phone away from the XLR cable. Let's see if that helps. My phone was sitting. I just seen that, Joseph. My phone was sitting right next to the XLR cable. Let's see if maybe that helps. Um, Julio Cruz is here. Let me try to catch up and see if I'm a thinking mind. Good morning. Blah blah saying volume spiking up. Yeah. We just seen, let's see, your pal Al. What's up, fam? Hey, Coach B, glad to be here. Claude says Green Day. Div says if there's a gigantic sell-off, let's say like SESN goes from 550 to $80, the company's bottom line is unaffected. So basically, stock represents confidence in the company. Yeah, absolutely. So it's like, you know, um, and we saw a lot of that, like with AMC. People were like, "Oh, they're trying to bankrupt this company. They're trying to bankrupt this company." I mean, yeah, if at some point, in a situation like AMC where the company was underwater and needed to raise capital, well, it's going to be hard as shit for them to raise capital when the stock's trading at $2 because now they have to sell a ton of shares to raise money. Um, but if let's just say like a company's got $1 billion on hand, you could short the stock down to 50 cents and the company's still going to operate like normal. It's not going to really affect them unless they're borrowing against their capital, and then that might have a negative effect. But otherwise, they've got enough cash on hand, they could weather the storm. If they're not trying to raise money, it shouldn't really matter. DJ Tardis, what's up? Jason said, I'm hoping to get it down to 750 range so I can finish buying in today. Yeah. Mike in DC, good morning, coach. Let's see here. Sad Kangaroo says, I think the massive swings in Tesla the last week could have given Hedges extra fuel. Holiday options with the KU logo. Good morning, coach. Take me to the promised land, or at least get this Friday started off right. I really think we're going to bounce back above 8 today. I mean, I know I said that yesterday, and it didn't happen. And obviously, I don't have a crystal ball, but I mean, 8's been our number for like shit over a month now. So I would imagine that we're going to end up climbing back above there at some point. We've been seeing a ton of buying pressure coming in to kind of help push us up there. And that's my expectation, at least. Zeke for Bleak, what's up? Josh, good morning. Move the XLR cable from any metal on the mic arm. Sorry, guys. It's picking up interference from metal. Thank you, Joseph. I appreciate you trying to help me out. I'm just, I might have to play around with this after today's stream. I hope it isn't that bad. Low Work says, thanks, coach. And that was me yesterday about the video. Goodbye, Gamma. Thanks for the answers. Yeah, so with the Gamma thing, and I'll explain that too. So basically, what the dude was saying, and I'll take it back. And the same thing actually applies to Clove. So actually, and we're probably gonna see that pretty soon. So I'll just get right into that with Clove real quick. If we go to the daily chart, so here's Clove. On this run up, right, as we hit a gamma squeeze in here, the option chain ended right around, I think, 23 at the time. Okay, and anyone who was following back then, we were talking about it even on the live stream that day, that tomorrow they're going to put out higher options. Tomorrow they're going to put out higher options. This right here, this movement was from the entire option chain getting blown out. So if I pull up Clove right now, the option chain, what happened, and I'll just show you like today, you saw all this volume like we have set up today, where there was thousands of contracts, with no gaps in between. But then once it got, once we blew out that number of 23 and the option chain ran out, basically, there was no more fuel in the option chain anymore. So then the next day they added this option chain all the way up to 43 like we see here. And what ended up happening? Everybody came in and loaded up here at 43, 42, 41. Why? Because it's cheaper. Well, it left this huge gap between 23 and 40, right? So what ends up happening? There's no more fuel, and the stock starts going back down the other day or the other way. And all those options that everybody loaded their money in when we were up here at 43, 42, 40, 40, $40, 39, they just all expired worthless. In order for a gamma squeeze to work, you need the chain to be loaded up in succession so that, once you pass 15, it's going to take you to 16, and now there's a ton at 16, and that's going to push you to 17, and that's going to push you to 19, and it's just going to keep rolling through the chain. So, yeah, that dude was absolutely correct. And I remember talking to Tar Heel about this a couple weeks ago and talking about the same exact thing. Like the reason one reason is they always want to be in the middle, right? So if all of a sudden we blow out this option chain and we're trading at 43, you're going to see them expand the option chain to 100 or to 86 or to 90 or somewhere around that level. And unless people start buying options at the money or in the money, then there's going to be that huge gap there, and we're not going to get that gamma squeeze. It's going to run out. It's going to top out at 43 because there's no extra open interest to carry us through there. So that's basically what that dude was saying that video, and he seems pretty spot on with a lot of stuff. I'm glad you sent me that video, because if you look, he's absolutely right. He was talking in reference to AMC, and what he was saying was on AMC's last run, they blew through their option chain and went to 43, and what happened? They extended it all the way up to they went all the way up to 70. And so they extended the option chain up to 145. And all these people went in and started buying calls at the 140 level, 145 level, like way out of the money. And they're just donating money at that point, right? Because there's not a huge, not only, it's not helping fuel any sort of gamma squeeze because there's nothing to carry the stock even further. So yeah, that's exactly. Now that being said, does that mean that buying, a $43 strike on on Clove, for instance, is a bad play? It's probably not likely to hit, but I still think, I think there's also a big difference, right? Like, for me at least, I've talked about this before. I have a long-term position on Clove. That's worth a lot more than, if I all of a sudden, come over here and say, you know what, I think maybe there's going to be we have the possibility of, hitting something big next week. So I'm going to come in here and buy these $17 calls for $2. But when I place that bet, it's a bet. Like if I buy 10 of those for $20 now, that's really just me saying, all right, well, if I lose that $20, whatever. But there's also a difference between me saying that on a stream to, 100 people than someone like, I think this dude was pissed about saying it to a stream of 100,000 people, because now what happens? You have 100,000 people loading up on that furthest out option on the chain, and it's not doing anything for the stock price. But like, what you would want to do to carry out a gamma squeeze, if strategically buying options as retail, is really filling the chain all the way across the board. You want to see where there's, like for instance with a stock like Clove, and again, I'm not saying to do this because I don't even think, obviously we're not going to hit one today, but I'm going to use this as an example. You have double digits in the thousands at every strike except for 9.5. So maybe you'd want to go buy some there. You'd want to go buy up to 10.5. You'd want to see continuous, filling of the option chain all the way through, and that's what would kick off the gamma squeeze. I hope that makes sense. Let's see here. Good morning, Alexander. What's up? Does Clove having a higher float Bad or not since the hedge funds have not sold. Is Clove having a higher float bad? I still don't understand why the float is higher, but I think it all depends. I think if you're referencing like how the float all of a sudden mysteriously this week just became higher, um, I don't necessarily think it's bad if, like for instance, I think the speculation, unless something came out yesterday that I missed, I think the speculation was that those were shares by, Vivek, went out there and that's what added onto the float. I wouldn't say that's necessarily bad because I don't see him selling at these levels. I think if that truly is, him converting over his shares from Class B to Class A, it's not really going to have an effect because that doesn't really affect the free float. Like he can't sell those shares anyways. Um, Josh says you don't know 8 feels good when we're at 750. Yeah, no shit. Well, 776. We're steady climbing right now. So just gotta obviously see how this plays out and everything. But we're definitely trending in the right direction, especially after such a shitty day yesterday. Zeke saying he's hearing the weird feedback from the mic too. Um, yeah, Joseph, that'd be dope. If you know how to help troubleshoot this, we could figure it out. I can't figure out what I actually did that would have. I mean, you know what? Hold on. I just unplugged something. Let me see if that helps. I'm just thinking in my head, what has been different? What have I changed? You know, since I've been experiencing these mic issues, and I got this little whiteboard the other day that you could like draw on. For like if I'm doing a video and I want to draw on the screen, and that's the only thing that's changed with my computer is I plugged that in yesterday. So I'm hoping maybe me unplugging that just now might change things. Let me know. I'm still behind in the chat though, but if not, Joseph, yeah, let's hook up after the stream. I'd love to get this figured out. 7-leaf clover, what's up? Holiday Option says, "What's your take on stock twits?" I just kind of heard about it this morning. Um, on here in the chat right before I hopped on the stream. I don't know if that's having an effect or not, but I saw a little bit of something on Twitter about that too, and that's funny. We'll have to see if it works. Uh, yeah, someone converted. I think it must have been Vivek because it lines up, with the change in float numbers, and but again, if he converted his shares from B to A, I don't think he's gonna sell. Um, what's the danger that they'll let the stock run to 10 again and then beat it down again with their shares? Well, I don't think anyone's going to let it run to 10 today. Um, I'm not saying we can't get to 10 today. It seems highly unlikely, but I don't think anyone will let it run because of the whole gamma squeeze scenario, right? Like if you look at open interest, if we cross 850, all of a sudden things start to get wild where, a lot of these shares need to start being hedged and, you know, 9 and then 10, like getting up in that area is going to really kick off some gamma induced buying. Um, so I don't think that'll happen today. I also, it's not just today. Like, yeah, there's going to be a lot of options expiring today, but I know I pointed out the other day, like for instance, I don't want to go through the whole chain, but even if we just look at like the $10 call has 29,000 in open interest, right? So if we come over here on TRADYTICS and look at, um, let's see, try to pull up this options dashboard for Clove and look. at the $10 strike, that's 88,000 calls across the entire chain. So if we take out the 29,000, rough math, we're still looking at 60,000 calls across the rest of the chain. Um, so like, yeah, we're going to lose a lot of open interest today, and a lot of people are going to have options burn up. But this chain has been, I know I've been saying this week after week, but it continues to be loaded up. And my speculation is that's not retail. And the reason I say that is you look at some of these buys that are coming in. Like yesterday, somebody bought the $11 strike, 3,100 contracts at $1.31 a piece. So you start looking at, how much money is that? Let's just say, where's my calculator? And again, that's not $1.31 a piece. That's $131. Okay, because it's times 100. So $131 times 3,100. Someone spent $406,000 on this purchase yesterday. Then you look here. Again, even that's a much smaller order, but 200 contracts at $164 a piece. Someone spent $32,000 on these yesterday. That was the 650 call for September. So the amount of money that's going into these buys tells me that that's not just retail. Yeah, retail's losing money too on this. I know even me, I have some I got some allergies going this morning. So I have some calls that are going to burn up today that I bought a couple weeks ago for August 20th, like just in case this thing kicked off. But even just looking at, what my initial position was on these August 20th calls, I think I put about $250 in just in case something happened today. So I'm not saying $250 isn't a lot of money, but in regards to like my total position, it's kind of like, okay, well, that's a bet that I knew I had the potential of losing when I made it. You know what I mean? But there's other people that are placing much larger bets on this. And that's why we continue to see this option chain continue to load up. So all the strikes that are going to expire today are just going to keep getting refilled. And I've been seeing this since April in this stock where, it had gamma squeeze potential in April, didn't happen. Had it in May, didn't happen. Then it happened in June, and we blew out the chain. And then it didn't happen in July, and now it looks like it's not happening in August, but the chain is still loaded up for September. So it's like it's the potential's always there, I guess is what I'm saying. What is max pain? So the max pain number for this week, I just looked a little while ago. I want to say it was 850, but let me double check. Yeah, it's 850 right now. And if you're asking what max pain itself actually is, basically it's when you look at the option chain and you see where that difference lies, where calls start outweighing puts. So right here at the $8 strike, we have almost 13,000 calls versus 14,000 puts. So it would behoove market makers to get this price above $8 today, so that these puts right here expire worthless. But then they don't want it to get past 850 because then there's 15,000 calls versus 3,000 puts, and they want to keep these out of the money. So if I'm a market maker that wrote a ton of calls, I would want to pin this price in between 801 and 849 today. And that way, basically everything down here expires worthless and everything up here expires worthless. And that's what max pain is. Christo, what's up? Good morning. Div says, Coach, doesn't hedge fund have shares in the millions? That is why I asked. I guess I don't understand if this shorting is so profitable for them, why not let it continue and repeat? Oh yeah, I think that's what they do. Like, for instance, a lot of these guys have calls and puts and shares, right? And so, and we've been seeing a huge increase in like institutional buying. A lot of hedge funds, more recently, increasing their positions. I know Susquehanna, Citadel, Jane Street, just increased their positions and went really heavier into the calls than they did the puts, even though they increased both. Um, and my speculation is they're loading up for the run, right? And so let's say we blow out the option chain, we get all the way up to 43 one day. Um, what are they going to do? They're going to sell their calls, and then they're going to ride their puts down, and make money off the rise and make money off the fall, and then start shorting it down again, until we find a new base. Right now, our base has been around 8. Let's say we run up to 43, and then they short it back down. Maybe this time they can only get it down to 12 or 14 or something, and then the game just starts over again, right? Then you load up on calls, they load up on puts, they start buying shares, and then they move the price up again, and this time the chain blows out at 80. They make money on the way up, then they short it down, make money on their puts on the way back down, and maybe this time the new base is 30, and they just keep rinse and repeat and keep making money both ways. That's what they do. Um, and I think our job is retail. I know I've said this before. I don't know how much of a splash we actually make in regards to the whole thing. I really don't. To me, I think it's up to us to just ride those waves. That's how we profit. You know, the market is manipulated. Absolutely, I don't think anybody can argue with that. Um, but if you really want to profit in this, and this goes against, I mean, the way I've always traded has just been finding the momentum and ride the momentum. You know, um, and I think that truly is the way to do it. So you gotta ride the waves. I think a little bit different when you're looking from an investment standpoint. Um, it's a little different because from an investment standpoint, you come in, you buy a stock that you find you believe is undervalued or has future potential. You just buy and hold the stock. But when you're talking about trading, it's all about the momentum, right? I mean, if you're buying into a stock, let's just say Clove, and you know, I believe this stock's going to be trading at triple digits one day. I think it's probably going to be worth $500 a share one day. That day might be 5 years from now. So I mean, if you wanted to, you could buy these shares right now and turn your computer off and just wait. Um, you know, come check on it in 3 years, and you'll probably be a millionaire. Um, but at the same time, if you're trying to trade, then it's a little bit different, right? Then you want to ride the waves. You would want to ride the wave up, sell, wait for it to bottom out again, buy back in, ride the wave up. I mean, it just depends what your what kind of trader you are. Are you an investor? Are you a day trader? Are you a swing trader? Maybe a combination of everything. That all comes into play. Tim says, "What's up, Coach? Do we have another month with similar loaded options chain?" Yeah, I mean we have shit. It's not even it because really it doesn't. So I mean, like today's option chain is loaded, but this loaded option chain could have had a gamma squeeze kickoff last week too. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't necessarily need to happen on the week that the option chain is loaded. So like the option chain is loaded shit all the way throughout. So even next week pushing above 10, 11, 12 would kick off a gamma squeeze because of how loaded the option chain is, no matter what the expiration dates are. Um, that's kind of how it works. Um, Good morning, Michael. What's up, Kenneth? Good morning. Uh, let's see. Gunslinger says good morning, and then low work with the super chat. Right on. Oh, 773. That's the the price. Try moving away your phone away from the speaker. Happy. Oh, so is it still doing it? So I unplugged that thing that I had. I just gotta when we get off, I'm gonna try to mess around because it's like I had this other thing plugged in, and I was thinking, okay, maybe that wire is touching that wire. I might have some other wires overlapping each other. Um, but when we sign off, I hope it's not too bad. Also, maybe try to adjust the gain and stuff, but I'll figure it out today. I really will. I'm sorry, guys. Just bear with me. I hope it's not too hard to listen to. Um, JJ, what's up? Good morning. All right, so where we at right now? It's 5:40 a.m. Okay, LF with the super chat too. Right on. Hey, you know what? I don't know if who's in here and who's not. We got a couple people in here watching right now. But last week in KLF, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It says love the early mornings. Um, but so I sent out a little thing this morning on the YouTube community thing. So basically, when I monetized my channel, it gave me the ability to set up memberships, and there was some people asking last week, do you have a Patreon? How can we donate to your channel? How can we do this? And I don't have none of that stuff set up. So what I did was, I set up a membership thing on the channel. Okay, and I sent out a message about it this morning. But basically, it looks like, let me see. Might as well go over that right now, and just put it out there. Let me see. So my channel. If I go to the community tab. All right. So basically, I did set up a membership thing. Um, if anyone wants to support the channel, you could do the membership. And once I get a merchandise store up, at some point, I'll have exclusive discounts for members. I was also thinking like, okay, well, if I'm going to do this, because I talked about this last week on the stream, like I don't really like, doing that, just accepting donations or something. I want you guys to kind of get something out of it too. So I figured what I'll probably end up doing is doing like a special stream, maybe once a week or every other week. Not during this stream. This is always going to be here. I don't want, um, but maybe we'll do something in the evenings, like, every other week or something, where it's kind of like a chalk talk type thing where I'll just, members come in and I'll just answer questions, something like that. Go over some of the videos that we've been talking about or different trading strategies, and really get like, something along those lines. But that's kind of it right now. I couldn't even think like, well, shit, what do I have to offer? But I did put it in there, so there is a membership option now on here if anyone's interested. If not, no worries. I love all you guys. I'm going to continue to do this regardless. But I set that up last night. Let's see. SRT's in the house. Good morning. Had no access to internet at all yesterday. First time getting online right now. And Joseph says, sent you an email. We'll troubleshoot with you whenever. It's not that bad. It's like listening to you on ham radio in the 70s. That's funny. Yeah, I'm gonna I'll for sure, Joseph. Thank you. I appreciate you trying to help me figure this out right now too. But I may even just unplug everything and I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'll check that email too. But I appreciate you trying to help. And then yeah, I don't know if Scotty's going on Tar Heel, but Scotty will be on today for sure. He's gonna come on, and then yeah, that was fun last Friday. And Scotty kicked off the rally last Friday, so hopefully we'll get that. I might have to buy some more shares right before Scotty comes on. Zeke says, "Whoa, AMC, yeah, AMC just hit a nice big spike." They're still trading down off yesterday though. Closed yesterday at 33.82. Currently at 33.64. So still in a kind of a gap down here. GameStop's up about $1 off yesterday's close. We're looking to actually gap up by about 20 cents right now on Clove. Just looking around at some other ones. Tesla's ripping right now. It's at 686. Closed yesterday at 673. I know today's like that Tesla AI day, I think. Um, yeah, let's see. MVIS is doing good pre-market. Let's check that one out. Take my DraftKings off. I've been having DraftKings on here because I opened a position in it, but DraftKings is like a long-term play for me, so we don't need to necessarily keep it up here and stare at it all day. So MVIS closed at 1293. Not a lot of volume at all, but it is up a little bit. I think a lot of the frustration is that the buying price comes down so low, but people are out of dry powder to buy more and more. Then dry powder comes in and Clove is up higher, creates a buying dilemma. SRT says that something specific caused us to get beat down yesterday or typical BS. With me, this is my speculation. I'll show this real quick. So here's the S&P 500. And this wasn't just the SPY, but look at the market. So this is Wednesday, right? The market started coming down on Wednesday. But then in between Wednesday's close and yesterday's open, the market dropped down tremendously. Okay. And pretty much the same thing we saw with Clove, right? So yesterday in pre-market, we ended up getting drugged down with it. And then that's what got us below 8. Now at that point, once the market opened and we were trading below 8, we were never, I mean, then I think it was more the typical BS kind of, I looked up earlier yesterday, we were over 50% volume through the dark pool, over 40% short volume, kind of the same stuff. So, but I think, the initial pre-market kind of beat down, that happened market wide. But once we got below this $8 support level, then I think we just kind of got hammered, um, and we're definitely trending back up right now. Yeah, Zeke for Bleak says the same thing. Market was pretty down yesterday. SR or Jason says, I know a lot of people are bummed this week, but seriously, get in on the discount and get that average down. Most of us believe in Clover long term. You do that dip, we buy that dip. Yeah. No, I agree. It's frustrating. I know a lot of people were getting frustrated yesterday. Um, and I did talk about that yesterday. Like for some people, you got to look at this like, for me, I'm always more of a swing trader, or even a day trader. But with Clove, I see the potential long term, and so I'm buying, and I'm willing to hold this through the manipulation until it gets back up to fair market value, which would be 30, in my opinion, in the $30 range. And even when it gets there, I wouldn't even consider selling until we were way above, like where we were trading in an overvalued stage. But I'm willing to hold this, long term too, because I do think that it has like triple digit potential. So if you approach it like that and you look at it as an investment, which is somewhat new to me, in terms of like with my trading account and everything, if the volatility is a little too much to handle, sometimes it's best to just walk away for a little bit, right? Like you got your stock, you have your conviction in it. We know this stock is worth way more than what it's trading at. Turn the computer off. Go outside. Go do something else. Turn off your Twitter. Just walk away because if you really do have conviction in the stock, even if your cost average right now is 18 bucks, the stock's worth more than 18 bucks. It really is. So, just turn it off, walk away. And I think the most frustrating thing probably for some people is like, you see these prices so low, you see your account negative, and then you don't have the dry powder to keep averaging down. So then it's kind of like, okay, what do I do now? Just stare at this damn stock price. I could have been making money playing other stuff, all this other kind of thing. But to me, this is a sure thing. It really is. And obviously, I should say this is not financial advice, but I think this is as sure of a thing as I've seen. And I'm talking more from the investment side, not necessarily a short squeeze or a gamma squeeze. I still think those things are coming and they're on their way. But if none of that shit happens from the pure investment side of things, buying Clove right now, a month from now, 2 months from now, a year from now, this thing's going to be trading way higher. And I know people will say, like, well, what's going to stop the manipulation and what's going to stop this? I mean, really, it all comes down to what people value the company at. And for the longest time, the Hindenburg report and a lot of the short reports out there and everything else, which a lot of it has been proven to be bullshit. But that had a drastic effect on the way people saw this stock and the way they valued this stock. Now we saw earnings come out and really crush it. We've been seeing positive news. Not so much this week, but leading up to last week, I mean, it felt like every other day we were reading about something. Clover Health is, you know, hired 2 new executives from tech companies. Clover Health honored in Atlanta, Georgia at this thing. Clover Health speaking at this tech conference. Clover Health, 140% year over year growth. Clover Health expanding into, 108 new counties. It was just like positive, positive, positive. And the more that stuff comes out, even if we have to wait until Q3 and see even more growth, um, every time that happens, more and more investors, more and more people, the market, Wall Street, everyone's going to keep looking at the stock and say, you know what, this thing's undervalued, and more people are going to buy in. And I think we're just first to the table right now. I know some people, like I said, got in at a much higher price, but if you can average down, this is a lot different than these other squeeze plays that are out there. And that's why, yeah, the squeeze potential is damn intriguing. It really is. But from an investment standpoint, like this company has a ton of potential. And I don't know how many other stocks right now you could look at, uh, you know, throw all the squeeze bullshit out the window and just say, I know that if I buy this stock today for $7.70, um, it's going to be worth double. Screw price targets and everything else. It's going to be worth double. It's worth double right now. And that's just on the low end. That's saying what Clove is worth 15, 16 bucks. Uh, I don't think there's many other stocks that you can actually go out and do that with. I mean, yeah, maybe in March 2020, you could look at a ton of stocks and say across the board, like, oh shit, this stock's trading at 80% discount from where it was at a month ago, and it was easy to pick winners. But with Clove right now trading below $8, shit, I mean, so again, if it's frustrating you and stuff, I say just turn it off for a little bit. Walk away, take a break. Kamal, what's up? Good morning. Co-creator, what's up? Good morning. Feeling a lot better. Hey, I'm happy you're feeling better, bro. I really am. Tibbs, what's up? Everyone's talking about StockTwits. I've never been on StockTwits. I might have to download the app today and check it out. Stars, am I the only one that's having a hard time hearing Coach? Yeah, some people were saying that my mic's jacked up today. I don't know. I'll try to talk louder too. Let me see if I can turn this gain up too. Maybe that'll help. I don't really know how to use this thing. I got this little box with these little dials on it and stuff. I really need to learn how to do this. What do you think of PLTR now? PLTR is a stock that's been intriguing me for a long time. I know that that's a stock too that I mean shit, I think it's got a ton of potential. I really do. And I've been watching it, and I know it had a lot of Wall Street bet hype, and it's got a huge community behind it, and it's definitely a stock that maybe at some point, once even like, one thing I've been looking at is like once Clove explodes, right? And it takes off, and I'm able to cash out some gains. The first thing I'm going to do is buy back into Clove when it falls back down to, fair market value. Assuming we run up and we hit some big number in the short term, like we jump up to 80 or something. I know I've been very open about this. At that point, I'm going to be looking to exit. And then when the stock falls back down, I'm going to reestablish my position, but now I'm going to have a ton of extra cash on hand. And so I've been trying to look at like what other stocks I could potentially get into. PLTR is one that's definitely intriguing to me. I know Degenerate, been talking to him kind of offline, and he's been kind of saying body looks like it's definitely undervalued right now. But just looking at plays like that, DraftKings a play that I've been somewhat looking, or I already started establishing myself in, but that's one that I'll probably be adding on to as well. And there's so many stocks out there. I mean, I don't even think you could research them all. The Tesla drop was Wednesday, biggest drop in 6 months. One sold Tesla stock is a lot of short juice. Michael says doesn't matter if the price is 750, 850, 950. All these prices are significant value. Buy them while you have the opportunity. I think hedgies have Coach bugged. That's the feedback interference. Man, I'd really like to. You know what? I got this other thing too. Let me move this way. I'm just looking around my desk, trying to figure out what the hell's going on. Like what's changed between now and basically the last couple of days. What's your cost average on Clove at this point? I want to say so. I have shares that I bought around $17, but I also have a bunch of leaps that I bought. I sold a lot of my short-term call options on the way up on the June run in like somewhere around 22. And then when it was falling back down off 28, I started buying more shares at 17, and averaging down from there. But I also never sold my leaps. I have a ton of $8 options for 2023, and that doesn't really work into my cost average. So it's hard for me to guess. But if I had to guess, I'd say my cost average is somewhere around like maybe 10 to 12 now, because I've been adding on to the leaps. I mean, if you take the leaps completely out of it, just my shares, my cost average is like 13, if that answers the question. But I'm trying to figure out, and I've never really been concerned with it, but I know I've been asked the question before. And so I've been like, if you try to factor those in and figure that's like an $8 a share cost, I figure somewhere in between there, between 8 and 13. JJ, any opinions on who will be the first to upgrade price target and when? I would say, Credit Suisse just bought some shares. JP Morgan bought shares. So one of those two, maybe. I haven't really seen B of A on there at all. That they bought any shares. I could have just missed it. But I would say one of them two. Blah blah says, come October, we're talking fair value of 50. No, absolutely. But I'm saying, let's say next week we run up to 70 or 80. Yeah, I'm gonna look to exit, and then as it starts to creep back down and get back below $50, I'm gonna start adding back on again. If we were to shoot up and gamma squeeze to 44 to tomorrow, I'm gonna be looking to. I'm just being honest. That's the trader in me. But now, if we don't hit any sort of gamma squeeze or short squeeze, and we're trading at 50 in October, I'm not selling shit. I'll just keep holding. If it's a slow growth type thing, now I'm holding into Q4, and by that time, fair market value might be $70. And at that point, without any sort of like significant spike where we go 150, 200% in one day, I'm just going to continue to hold the damn shares. Michael says, I'm in Clove for the long term. I, like most, want the opportunity to cash in a run up in order to double or triple my position. Yeah, absolutely. That I'm talking soft voice. Yeah, I try to speak up a little bit, but yeah, it's 6. They should be awake by now. Let's see. Thank you, Coach. See you in my planning period. Oh, you taking off? Yeah, I know. Div, I keep forgetting to ask you because every day before you leave, you're talking about how you're going to school. So next time you come on, I'll just or maybe me and you could even talk about it afterwards because I'm a teacher as well. So that's why I've been signing off earlier a little bit lately. You know, starting early but signing off a little early just so I can kind of get dressed, get ready, and then head to school. Um, yeah, there's definitely some sort of interference coming through on my mic. Tar Heel had called me yesterday after I did that. So I did a speaking of chalk talks. I'll bring this up while we're talking about the mic. So I did a chalk talks yesterday about Delta. After that, because I know a lot of people have been wanting options, and I just wanted to lay out all the groundwork before we really get into like buying and selling options. So I did one on Delta. This next video I'm going to do today is going to be on Gamma, Theta, and Vega. And then after that, I'm going to start laying out option strategies. You know, not just buying calls and buying puts, but how to profit off of selling calls, selling puts, different combinations, things like that. Cover spreads and so I'll start really breaking that stuff down, but I wanted to get all the basics out of the way. But anyway, so I made that video last night, and Tar Heel texted me. He's like, "Hey man, there's something wrong with your audio." And so I mean, usually when I make those videos, I just record them, kind of freestyle, record them, upload them. Um, so I never went back and watched it. I just took it down and I re-recorded the whole video. Um, and then he texted me again. He's like, "Bro, your mic's still messed up." So I don't know. That was last night. I don't know, but there must have been something that I did. Plugged in, turned something on. There's got to be some interference coming from somewhere on my desk, and I'm going to try to figure that out once we sign off. Ooh, hold on. Let me check my email real quick because Joseph said that when I touched my mixer, something happened. I know I'm hella behind in the chat too, guys. Sorry. So, mic troubleshooting. Um, Let me see. You know what, Joseph? I'll do it after the stream with that, just so that. But I'll call you as soon as we get done. But actually, you know what? I'll call you real quick. We'll see if we can figure it out. If it could do it in a couple seconds, we'll do it. If not, you know, we'll figure it out after. But I would because I just looked at the time. I'm gonna be on here for another hour. I might as well try to figure it out real quick. Hey, what's up? This is Joseph. What's up, man? Hey, so on this little mixer, there's these two buttons on the gain, like 48p and air. Do I press? All right. Now, what about that air and 48V? Do I want those on or off? Focus right. No, there's just a monitor and then a gain. Yep. let's try it out. If not, I'll hit you up after the stream. But thank you. All right. Thank you. Bye. Let's see if that sounds better. Sorry, guys. Hopefully, I don't know. Let me know. I'm gonna skip down to the chat right now. Let me know if this sounds a little bit better. All right, let me see. I'm gonna try to get back in the chat. Oh, Tar Heel said he just texted me too. Man, I'm behind on this chat. All right, let's see. Thanks for helping too, Tar Heel. Trent, what's up? Good morning. Is your mic like Outrage Yeti, where you need to speak to the side of it versus the top? That's funny. Let's see. Co-creator says, I have a GI appointment in an hour or so. Keep me in your prayers. Figure out what's going on with me today, and then it's nothing major. I got you, bro, for real. I know we've talked about it too. I know a little bit of the pain, but that sounds like yours is a lot worse than what I went through a couple years ago. So be thinking about you and praying for you, man, for real. Let's see. All right. Definitely better. If I put my ear to the speaker, I can hear it slightly, but vast improvement. Maybe if I turn that gain down a little bit more. I think I know what I'm doing now. We'll see. Your mic is clearly a short seller. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Oh, Scotty Z's got some GI problems too. Man, I know me and co-creator talked about it a little bit offline a couple weeks ago, and you know, it was I went through some stomach issues myself like maybe 2 years ago. What's going on here? I don't know. Tar Heel's calling now. What's up, man? All right, I got you. Thank you. All right. Yeah, I've had the stomach pains and stuff before. Mine ended up being more of a was it Crohn's disease is what I ended up getting diagnosed with, and so I had to change my diet and a bunch of other stuff. But then I had a cousin who was going through similar pains at the same time, and his ended up being something totally different. So, but stomach pains are no joke, man, for real. So I hope you get that figured out soon, co-creator, for real. Robert says Sacktown Finest. What's up, Robert? Not too far away from me. Um, I'm in the East Bay, so I know. I think we've talked about that before. But yeah, nice to see somebody else from California joining in the stream this morning. Um, the boss is in the house. Godfather, what's up? Um, Now you guys are saying audio's low. Damn. Uh, I don't know what's going on this morning. I'll just try to speak up and see if that helps. Sorry, guys. I promise I'll get this figured out once the stream's over. I hope that's better. I just started turning knobs and stuff again. Um. Anyways, all right. So it looks like where we at? 610, almost 500,000 in volume on the day. Um. Stock is trending upwards right now. We did hit a little bit of a dip early on, as soon as the market opened, and now we're starting to climb back up. Um, yeah, let me go back to AMC too, because I know AMC was starting to move early on. Let's kind of see what's going on there. They're just starting to gap up right now. The SPY's also kind of ripping upwards, finally getting back in the positive. Sounds like everyone's saying that my mic sounds better. Um, Lowwork says all your problems will be solved with the restart. Yeah, I'm gonna restart the computer after this, and everything's gonna be fine. Um, but anyways, yeah. So it looks like, and we've talked about this, how these memes kind of trend together. We're moving up. AMC's moving up. GameStop really isn't doing shit right now, but we are starting to see some movement. But we also have the spies starting to move up as well. And I know I showed that yesterday. It's crazy how everybody always says the sky's falling and this is it, the top is in. But look at this chart for the S&P 500. I mean, this is the last year. Um, Shit, the biggest dip was probably right here last September. But other than that, I mean, this thing has just been ripping for forever. And you could see these little, I think you could see it, but right here, right here, right here. Every time it hits a new high, it comes down and dips. And you can see that we hit a new high not too long ago. If I zoom in now, um, what about 4 days ago? We hit a high of 447, and we went with our regular old SPY dip that we've been seeing. I would say, it's more likely that the SPY is going to continue to rip on and go hit 448 than that it's going to, keep dragging down at this point. So we should see a lot of stocks that got drugged down start to rally back too. That's just my take, but I'm more of a bull, I feel like. Um, let's see. Um, Robert says, hit the like button. Yeah, let's do it. Uh, Joseph says, all my mic problems will be solved if we get a 20% increase today. Let's do it. Let's get a price target. Um, Up $3 a call in my February VIH calls. Okay, what's VI? Oh, VIH is actually going down too. But I know we've and that's something that I'm gonna go over in this next Chalk Talks video is basically Vega, and how it's affected by implied volatility. And so if we look at VIH, I would imagine February calls, that we probably, if all of a sudden the open interest on this is low as hell, 7%. Be careful with that. The only reason I say that is it could be that the spread is just hella wide. And all of a sudden, depending on where your call's at, if somebody puts in a sell order here, it's gonna widen the spread down on the bid too. If all of a sudden, someone puts in $1.05, and it's gonna raise up the midpoint, which is gonna make it appear. But like, for instance, just to give you an example, someone's trying to sell these for $1.05, but right now, if you did a market sale, you're only going to get 60 cents. But your software is going to take the in-between price, which is probably like 82 cents. And that's what you're reflecting as a profit on your position balance on your calls. You know what I mean? But if you go in there and just hit the sell button, you're going to get filled for 60. So just be careful with that, because there's not a lot of volume in there. What I was going to say when I first pulled up the chain was, if open interest was increasing drastically, then the IV would go up. And if IV goes up, that can have a huge payoff. That could really affect your contract pricing through Vega, which is something I'm going to cover in my Chalk Talks today. But it doesn't seem like that's the case, just looking at the IV on that one. All right. I got the approval from A West too. Says that's better. Right on, A West. Thank you. It could be, yeah, co-creator. I might hit you up, or you're gonna be at the doctor later. So I'll I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna hit you guys up after the stream though and figure it out because I guarantee you it's the wire, you know, touching something else or something's going on. But I'm just glad it sounds good enough right now. Uh, let's see. Okay, let's see. Ghost is in here. Pat says calls like that are usually artificially widespread and low volume. Yeah, so you just got to be careful. You know, like definitely do limit orders with that. Dennis says Clove is usually number 4 or 5 or 6 for volume on my watch list. It's number 2 today. Hopefully, it's a good sign. I'm hoping so as well. Looks like Ghost is in the house. Everyone's dropping Ghost in the chat. Right on. We're getting close to the open now too. We got about 13 minutes. You know, before market open. 558,000 volume, not bad. Not as much as I think we saw yesterday, but still pretty good. I got some dry powder today too. I probably should have bought way back here. Where's 4 o'clock? Because it looks like we're running up. I don't know if I'll be able to get a shot at getting in. Let's see what happens. Usually I like to wait until market open to buy just to kind of see where the stock's going. But I know I've said it on here before too. It really doesn't matter. Like, you know, you buy at 770 or buy at 750 or buy, you know, at 820. It doesn't really matter where the stock's going. But I did get some dry powder this morning, so I'll be looking to make a purchase here in a second as well. Let's see. Joseph says cost to borrow is increasing. We haven't even looked at Ortex today. I've kind of been laying off that stuff though too because I feel like at this point, you know, the stock is so manipulated that it's kind of like, all right, you know, we look at some of this stuff and yeah, it looks like 1.8. If we look down here, we see a cost to borrow max at 13% now. 1.8 million shares borrowed. Refresh this on 2.6. Okay. So short interest is changing. Shares on loan as of this morning, 54 million, with a net difference of 2.6. So that's going to put us somewhere around 56, 57 million, somewhere around there. That's kind of in that high range of where we've seen this at. So, you know, and utilization's picking up. Those are getting more similar to the numbers we saw in June when things took off. Let's see. What are your thoughts on Lucid and Open? You know, CCIV is one that I was, you know, trading way back, you know, before it even hit 20. You know, and it's funny, a kid that I used to coach, who's really active in stocks and stuff, and he was on it. I know he made a killing off of it. And he kind of turned me on to CCIV. I bought some calls, made a lot of money, and then I got caught up in the hype and just kept riding more calls into the you know, that peak of $60 before it crashed before the merger. But I haven't really been following it much since then. I did make a pretty decent amount off it, trading it back on that run up. I think that was that like in February maybe? I know it's been a while, but I haven't really been following it much. I mean, that's another stock that I'm probably going to be looking into as we get closer to, you know, like I said, um, once I'm able to take some nice gains out of Clove and maybe move them around into some other stuff, I'll be looking for undervalued stocks. And I know a lot of growth stocks got hammered hard. Um, you know, so that's maybe one that I'll be looking into as well. But other than that, I can't say I know much about it. Ghost says, make sure you guys subscribe to Coach. Hit him with the thumbs up. Nora says, is Clove gonna dive or jump at the bell? Strong history of diving at the bell. Yeah, we've seen kind of like, at least recently, right at the open, that first 5 minute candle will get that opening range. We might even see the opening candle spike up to 8, and then get hammered down from there. We've seen a couple days where we start ripping right off the open, but I would imagine. Well, I guess I'll say this too. Like, we were just talking about the option chain, and really, if you believe in the whole Max Payne theory, um, market makers are gonna want this stock to run above 801 today, because that is where they would profit the most off of Max Payne. So, um, who knows? We might get a nice little run up right off the open, and then start to get some pressure after we break through 8. But at the same time, if I was a market maker and I had all this shit to deal with right here, I think I'd be willing to take a little bit of a L and suppress this price under 8. That way, I don't even get within. Don't let the bulls get within striking distance of 850. So, um, just gotta wait and see. Oh, look at Zeke for Bleak. Sold CCIV at 65. Man. See, I didn't own any shares. I rode some calls up, pre $20, made some nice gains, sold them, and then I want to say I bought some more calls when we were like trading right around $60, thinking, okay, this thing's gonna rip up even higher. And then they pulled the rug out from underneath it. Those calls burned up, but I mean, at that point, I was playing with house money. So, uh, Ghost says, Scotty, loved your video today. Yeah, you know what, too. So, anyone who's new, who's joining in or whatever. So, Scotty's going to be coming on in a little bit here, I think. And I put down in the description of this video Scotty's Twitter account. So, make sure you guys go follow Scotty. His Twitter account is listed in the description of this video. And Scotty's going to be coming on here and giving us a pep talk. I know he's going to be a lot more fired up than I am this morning. I've been up since 3 a.m., so about 3.5 hours right now. This is weird. I couldn't sleep this morning. So let's see. Mike in DC says, Coach and everyone else, have a great weekend. I got my nuts kicked in this week. Don't mean to laugh at you. It's funny. Can't take looking at deep 5-digit red, heading to the bar for breakfast. Nice. All right. I wish I can go to the bar for breakfast this morning. Have fun. Let's see. Oh, Pat with the super chat. Right on. $8 from Pat. One Clove share. Loving the fire sale pricing. Glass is always half full with this one. I'm the same way. I feel like I'm overly optimistic sometimes. Um, I always like to look, and thank you again, Pat. I appreciate it for real. The super chats help. Um, definitely cool to see. I really appreciate it. But I'm the same way. I'm always a glass is half full type of guy. Um, this volatility and stuff, it sucks some days. But I just look at the bright side. It's like shit. I'll just go buy a little bit more. I'll look for some opportunities to make some money. When this thing spikes back up. Um, let's see here. Co-creator says curl up 8% plus. Speaking of which, too, I'll just before we get into this, and then Scotty comes on, I'm gonna mention it one more time because I know I said it about maybe 40 minutes ago or whatever. But I did send out a message on the YouTube thing, the community. I'm still learning all this shit too, so but I got the opportunity to do like a channel membership thing. Um, if anybody wants to support the stream and they want to become a member, right now I don't have much to offer, but I did activate the membership thing through YouTube. So if you wanted to become a member of the channel, I think you get like custom badges and emojis next to your name in the chat. Um, you know, there's I'm gonna once I put up a merchandise store, there'll be discounts available for the merchandise store. And then also, one thing that I do plan on doing once it kind of picks up and we have a lot of, we have some members on the channel, I want to start doing Chalk Talk live streams, and those will be members only. And the only reason, the recording will be available for anyone to see, but the reason I want to do that is that way, the same way I've been doing these Chalk Talks, breaking down the market and everything else, I figured if I could have something to offer to members, that would be like the main thing. Is like maybe once a week we'll do a little live stream, and that way there's less people in the chat and you guys can actually be a part of, if I'm breaking something down and going over something, and then I could answer questions, while we're doing it. So that was my thought. At least I'm open to suggestions too. This is all new to me, but I know I talked about it last week. Like if I was gonna do a membership, I just feel like I'd want to offer something like, you know, and so I was thinking about it and what can I offer? What do I have that I can offer? And I figured doing something like that would be pretty cool. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I just activated that this morning when I woke up. So let's see here. Nathan, what's up? Good morning. 7-Leaf Clover says if the glass that's half full is as big as Coach's coffee mug. Yeah, so this is I don't know if you guys can see it. This is an old one from Starbucks. It's actually my wife's. But I grabbed it because it's bigger. And I know, I think Michael told me a month ago, like, bro, go get a thermos and just fill the thermos up so that you can keep filling your coffee up. But I don't know. I never did it. So I've been doing this, and I could put like 2 cups of coffee in there. And then I don't, now I'm getting 2 cups during the stream instead of 1. All right, 6:28. Let's see what happens. We're getting close. I'm gonna zoom this in just so we can see where we're at. We are trading above VWAP right now. AMC looks like it's getting some momentum this morning too. GameStop flat as hell. I wonder what's GameStop's volume at right now. They've been seeing some ridiculous low volume. 8,000 volume so far for GameStop in pre-market. That's insane. But some of GameStop's biggest moves have come on, right after a dry volume day. So I don't know if anybody saw that video I made the other night. I know I mentioned it yesterday too, but kind of a pretty cool theory that I'm willing to buy into and see how things play out. But the last big run-ups with the meme stocks in June all kind of fell around about 2 weeks before future rollover dates, or if you want to put it another way, 3 weeks before triple witching day. Okay, and then the previous big run-ups with all the meme stocks, same thing in March. It was like 2 weeks before the future rollovers, 3 weeks before triple witching day, and that's coming up. So if that's gonna happen again, that would be starting, probably kicking off next week, rolling into early September. Those would be like the 2-week run-ups, if history is going to repeat itself. So I just made a video about it a couple nights ago. But for me, when I see something like that, I know when people talk about like TA, you want to get at least 2 to 3 touch points. And I was talking to my buddy Colin yesterday, and he said the same thing. He goes, I know we're not talking TA, but, GameStop ran in June. It ran in March. It ran in January, March, and June. That's 3 times every 3 months. AMC, same thing. You look at all of them, and they're doing it in these 3-month cycles. So when I look at that, I'm like, kind of something to get excited about. Who knows? Maybe nothing comes of it. But I would say, it's repeated itself 3 times now. This would be the fourth. If all of a sudden we saw a big run in the next couple weeks. All right. Let's see here. I'm just sorry, guys. I'm just looking at the at my order book right now to see if my thing got filled. It looks like it did. Let's see here. And there we go. Just grab some more Clove at a discount. Let's see what happens. And hold on. I wanted to grab a couple calls too. All right, now I'm in. Okay, sorry about that. Just had to get my orders placed. All right, so George Jabdab says thoughts on Wish after ER was downgraded to price target of $5. I'm buying back in if it goes below 6, which looks close to happening. Yeah, you know what? That's another one that I was talking about. And I don't know much about Wish, but just I like to find undervalued plays sometimes, and we're looking at Wish is like pretty much almost at its all-time low. You know, it is at its all-time low. Or is this? Let me go back. Yeah. The problem is we don't know where the bottom is, right? So I wouldn't necessarily be a buyer right now, but I mean, I like to look at things, and I know I've said this on here before that, it's like there's always going to be other plays, right? You don't want to like rush into anything, and at the same time, I kind of feel like we don't know where the bottom of this. So if they're saying price targets of 5, what if this thing drops down to 3? Now you'd be losing out on 50% of your investment right off the bat. So I would much rather see it hit bottom, get confirmation of the bottom, and then if you really believe in the company and you believe that it has the potential to maybe run back up to, you know, even here like 14ish. I'm not saying 32. You could make some decent gains there, but I would just want to make sure that it's at the bottom first. Maybe see it kind of level out, flatten out, trade sideways for a while, and then get some bullish indicators before jumping in. Like definitely play it from the technical analysis standpoint, unless you believe in the fundamentals of the stock. I don't know anything about it, so I don't know. $5 price target, sure. I don't know why it was trading at 30 or 14. I know it was getting pumped a lot on Twitter, but again, I don't know much about it. You think the Russell will reevaluate Clove to add it? So that's a once a year thing. The whole Russell thing, that's once a year. So I think we'd have to wait around for next June, I believe. That's my understanding. And it's not that Russell didn't like Clove or anything like that. It was just more of a voting rights thing. And that situation has been taken care of since Green Oaks converted some of their shares over to Class A. We just saw some other shares get converted to Class A. So that won't be an issue. If you know, the Russell was going to do, you know, if it was happening next month, Clove would be in. You know, they already meet all the qualifications. They just didn't meet the voting part. Um, let's see. Ghost said I had to grab some with you, Coach. Yeah. Let's see. Coach, what do you think about Clove always dropping it open every single trading day? I mean, I don't know. It sucks. I mean, I know what you mean though. Like, why is it happening? I mean, I think just trying to kill the momentum, right? I mean, right off the open, try to hammer it down and you know, and maybe shake out some stop losses that people set the night before, and you know, try to drop it as low as possible. I guess I think it's all just part of the strategy. Try to kill momentum. Try to kill spirits. Risky seeds. Good morning. Um, Looks like we're actually green on the day, though. I know it doesn't seem like that if you're looking at this, but we did gap up, right? So if we zoom out, we closed yesterday, I think at right around 8. Shit, I forget the close now, but it was somewhere around here in this 850 range. And we had gapped up in pre market, and looks like we came down and filled that gap, and we're actually up 6 cents on the day. So we closed yesterday around 857, I guess. Um, so I'm getting a green morning today. Uh, Ghost says got 100 watching with 72 thumbs up. Yeah, nah, everybody's coming in to see Scotty. Scotty's the main attraction today. So anyone who's just joining, Scotty's gonna be getting on here in a little bit. Scotty, if you're I know you're listening. Maybe at 9:45 your time, so in about 7 minutes, if you want to call in and then finish the show out with me, man, that'd be cool. Or whatever time works for you. I mean, shit, later, whatever. But get this turned on. I don't know why that's doing that. But yeah, Scotty, when they're, you know, Vincent says tapped out, feeling frustrated, can't average down, keep testing new low. Yeah, I know I talked about that a little while ago, Vincent, too. And that's kind of my speculation, you know, with a lot of the frustration. And don't get me wrong, I'm frustrated too. But I know I've mentioned before, I'm kind of like, I feel like I'm immune to the volatility at this point. Um, but I feel it, and that's kind of what I think is a lot of the frustration going on. I had said earlier is like, you know, a lot of people have been buying the dip, and you keep buying the dip and buying the dip, and now if you're out of powder and you can't buy any more dip, and the stock keeps dipping, it's frustrating. It really is. Um, but I think, you know, and obviously this isn't financial advice. You know, this is just my opinion and the way I see it. Um, I have my convictions about this stock. I feel strongly about it. I know what it's worth, and I'm willing to wait. And so even if I ran out of dry powder and I couldn't buy the dip anymore either, I know what it's worth. I'm happy. I'm happy with just sitting here and watching, and you know, I know that one day it's gonna go higher, a lot higher. Um, and that's my thought process at least. And I think sometimes it's good to take a break. You know, I know like you guys know I went on a little vacation and spent some time in Monterey. And sometimes, you know, it's good to be away. And like even that day when I was in Monterey, I just set an alert for $10. I figured if it comes to 10, I'll look at my phone. Otherwise, I'm not looking at it. And after I logged off the stream that day, shit, I don't even think I looked at my phone the rest of the day. My phone never alerted me that we got the $10, and I was content having fun with the family and just, you know, out of sight, out of mind. And sometimes you got to do that. You really do. Um, okay, market goes down, we go down. Market goes up, we go down. Oh man. Let's see here. Star says, I heard Newsom was a short seller. Good reason to vote for recall. Oh man, need that energy from Scotty after yesterday. Russell says I'm a fan coach, just listening. Um, I appreciate you just listening too, for real. Everybody that's coming on here, I appreciate it. I know I keep saying it, but I wouldn't be doing this if people. If I was just sitting here, talking to myself, I wouldn't be doing it. But I'm having fun, and I like interacting with you guys in the chat. I love being able to, sit here and talk about this stuff. And I learn things every day. Sometimes you guys ask questions that make me go out and research stuff to figure out, what the answers are because I don't know the answers. Sometimes you guys are providing answers in the chat. I can't wait to learn how to use my mic later on when I sign off. So I'm learning stuff every day too. Um, see. Levi says almost 2 minutes volume in the first 10 minutes. This could be interesting. Yeah, we looks like we're starting to. I don't. You know what? I'm gonna throw it on the 1 minute chart because I sometimes I hate looking at the 5 minute early on when there's just 3 bars. It just looks weird to me. So let's put this 1 minute on for a little bit until we get a little bit further out. Um, SESN is screwed for a long time, right or no? I don't. You know what? I can't tell you I know much about it. We did look it up the other day because I think Div by Zero had mentioned that he had some of that and kind of was telling me how it looked like they had a rug pull after a circuit breaker, and so I kind of looked at it, but I don't know anything about the news behind it or nothing fundamentally. Um, Faith says, "Morning, coach. Gonna be an closome day. Black Friday sale. Buy the dip." Yeah, I mean, and I know Target short sellers. I think just said in the chat a little while ago um, that he thinks market makers are gonna let us run above 8. I kind of think so too. I think it behooves them to get us above 8, but below 850. And who knows? Maybe that momentum will carry if we do get above 8, and we'll get some more FOMO buying, and we'll push above 850. That would be amazing. Um, I wish we could delete the stock apps on our phone, Caesar says. Yeah, let's see. Co-creator, on a positive note, we're up 80 cents from 3 months ago. That's some glass half full shit. We are, though. I think we were at 6 something in May. Mansoor says, I'm a big fan, but Clove is cursed. Yeah, I mean, it really is, and now I don't believe that Clove is a meme stock, but it's trading with the meme stocks, and so you just gotta, this is kind of a weird phenomenon. Like this year, I really think it is. Like this isn't. Yeah, there's been high short interest stocks. There's been short squeezes in the past, but ever since January when GameStop ripped, there's these stocks that are tracking together. I think algos have them tied in together, so they short them at the same time, they buy them at the same time. These stocks all rip up at the same time, and I do think that there's a ton of potential to make money off the meme stocks too. Now, Clove's in a little bit of a different boat because it's also grossly undervalued, but um, I think it's being suppressed with the rest of these memes as well. And once they all start running again, which hopefully is pretty soon, I think we'll get our opportunity to cash in on some Clove. Um, but it's definitely manipulated. Let's see here. Wyckoff accumulation cycle. Smart money has the short lackeys to do this to ultimately build cheap longs. Yeah, I mean, and that's really what you see too, with these 3 month cycles. Like I know I had pointed it out to a friend of mine before the March run up in GameStop. And this is going back a long time, but IV after these big run ups, IV gets so high on these these stocks where it's like above 200, 300%. Um, and it's like they suppress the stock long enough so that the IV drops down to a more affordable rate so that they can go long on options, and then they start the run up process again. And it's just cyclical. It seems like it's just consider it's running in cycles. And right now it seems like it's in 3 month cycles. Um, Tibbet says Clove is the future of healthcare. I can't agree more. Um, XRP to the moon. Right on, Bud Heavy. I know I mentioned it the other day, and I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start covering some XRP. I really am. I got a friend of mine who's really heavy into it. That's who got me into it, and I bought some, and I'm doing pretty decent in it right now. I don't have nearly as much. That's something else that I'll probably, if Clove was to take off in the next month and XRP still trading where it's at, I'll probably end up moving some of my money into XRP as well, and really like getting into a heavier position on that. Nathan says Safe Moon's running up this morning. I do have a little bit of Safe Moon as well. Again, that was one that a friend told me to grab some of, but these are just like really, really small. I usually don't dabble in crypto, but I have a little bit of Safe Moon and a little bit of XRP. Didn't Safe Moon go to 0? I don't know. I think it's at. I don't know. It goes up and down. Like right now, it's fun to everyone. I mean, shit. Sometimes I'll go like a month without even looking at it. Um, but like the Safe Moon is weird. It keeps adding on every day. You end up with more and stuff, but I don't really understand how it works. I bought some because some friends told me. I don't know shit about crypto. So when I got friends who buy into stuff. But I think XRP is in a whole nother ball game than like Safe Moon. I consider Safe Moon more of like a meme coin, you know. But XRP from what I've been hearing and all that kind of stuff seems like, and I'm not a big crypto dude, but I'm gonna start doing my research and probably start covering some XRP just because for me, that's how I learn, right? If I'm going to take the time to make a video and talk about it, I'm going to spend a lot of time researching it. Julio says, Coach, I couldn't find the option where to become a member. Maybe it's not active on there. I don't know. Let me log out and log into. I'm going to log into my channel. I don't see it either. I'll have to check that out. Maybe I didn't set it up. I thought I did. Let me see here. Customize channel. Memberships. Oh. Yeah, I didn't turn it on. All right. It's turned on. Thank you. Thank you, Julio. I'm over here promoting something that I didn't even have turned on. So the membership button's on now. Thank you, though. I appreciate you letting me know that. So if you're just joining, I mentioned earlier that I turned on a membership thing for this channel. And even though I don't really feel like I have a ton to offer, Scotty's trying to connect. What I did say, one thing that I'll definitely do is put a discount on a merchandise store when I put that up, but also maybe start doing like a weekly live stream for the Coach Beast, the Chalk Talks, where we could do like a Q&A type thing with members. A live video where we could just answer questions about trading and stuff. So Anyways, I know everybody's been logged in here not to see me, but to see the man, the official Clove hype man, Scotty. Let's get him on here. We're gonna put him in right now, and I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger and switch over. Scotty, what's up, man? Can you hear us?
Hold up a sec. Hold up. How's the audio?
Shit, it probably sounds better than mine. I bet. Uh, everybody's
What
been
is
complaining.
up? Yeah. Yo, it's Friday, man. I am fired up. I am so happy, man. I'm ready to have a great weekend. It's a little crappy weather here in Jersey, I gotta say, but I'll make the best of it one way or the other, man. I'm not gonna let it destroy my weekend. You know, what do you got going on this weekend, Coach?
Nothing, man. Nothing. We were actually originally thinking about heading out to Vegas because my kids are big WWE fans and SummerSlam's tomorrow night, so we were gonna do that, but it was just
Nice.
too damn expensive, man. Plane tickets to Vegas right now are crazy. And then with the whole COVID thing, like picking up and stuff, I don't even know if I wanted to get on a plane. It's just
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
like you know what? Do we really want to travel? We've been doing all this other stuff, and so nothing, man. No plans. I'm looking forward to just relaxing this weekend.
There you go. Relaxing is good too, man. Relaxing is good too. I might do some relaxing tomorrow, along with some drink. I do the drinking on the weekends, man. I'm gonna get a little fired up tonight, and Tar Heel was asking me to go on his show. I think a little later today. I'm gonna try to make that around 3 o'clock, but I got this doctor appointment at 4, and I'm gonna try to after that doctor appointment, I'm gonna turn it up a little bit. Maybe I'll make it, for the end of Stonk Tales or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yep. No,
But
absolutely, man.
so how are we looking on the morning here so far?
I mean, we're holding above. Let me zoom in on this real quick. So I made this a little bit bigger, but we're holding above VWAP right now, man, and we're up on the day. We're up about 14 cents. I mean, we're still down big time from where we started yesterday at, but I don't know, man. I mean, I know me and you have talked about it even offline. I mean, I really believe in this stock, so it's like even though we're down right now, it's not phasing me much. I mean, I'd
I
love to
hear
see
that.
us.
I
I'd
hear
love
that,
to
man.
see us trading at $10 right now, but I just look at this as an
Yo, it'll
opportunity.
happen. It's gonna happen. It's bound to happen. There's no way it can't happen. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, Scotty. So, but nah, I appreciate you coming on, man. I really do. This was fun, and me and
No,
Scotty got a
I
chance to.
love you guys having me.
Me and
I always appreciate with you and Tar Heel, and I know you're hooking up with Ghost too, and what you guys are doing for the community, and giving essentially putting your guys self out there every day, each and every day during the week. It's and just being consistent with it. It's really amazing, man. And I know that like so many people, including myself, really appreciate you guys, and like all the other contributors as well, like Al Trades, Pablo. We talk about these people and these names and these things all the time, and it's not just them. It's everybody that contributes, man. Everybody without even person, it makes it less. So everybody that has something to say, or whether you're posting on a Reddit, you're posting on a Discord, you're posting on a this or that, you're in here, you're over on Tar Heel, you're over at Al Trades, you're over on TSS, you're over, everywhere, anywhere you're going to do what you're doing, as long as you're doing it, you're a part of this community, and you are going to help grow this thing and amplify it. Tar Heel, I know he sometimes likes to wax poetic about all the good things about Clove and what everybody is holding and has bought into. You know what I mean? A lot of people, it's a great resource for people to learn about that, to hear him talk about that, and the passion that he has for the company and things like the Clover Assistant. Like my gig, man, like I'm just about like the community. Everybody's a part of it. Everybody's, like taking it beyond just the stock itself. What I'm saying, guys, is I love hanging out with you guys, man. I like hanging out with you guys during the week. Everybody has something to say. I happen to be a little more YouTubey than I am Reddity or Discordy or anything like that, but like our Twitter even. But it's all good. I don't even have Facebook. I'm sure there's Facebook group. I don't even know some of these cats. Maybe it's all good. Everybody just keep pumping and pumping and pumping.
You know,
Fired up.
Yeah, see, that's why I love you on here, man. You get me fired up too. But nah, I'm the same way with the social media stuff. I actually have a Facebook, but I haven't logged into it in about probably 5 months or something. You know what I mean? But it's
Yeah.
but nah, man, you're right, bro. It's all about we're building this family. I mean, I know people are saying stock twit, even in the Ken Lin just said in the chat, check Scott twit. Stock twits. I don't even have that, but now I want to go download it today because I guess there's a bunch of people on there, So I'm gonna go check that one out too. It's so hard to keep up with all this shit though, right? I mean,
Oh, dude,
with the
it's
Reddit and
ridiculous.
Twitter and
There's probably things that we don't even know that are going on, like that are there that exist. That I'm just saying that people are there, and that's great as long as people just keep flooding in. The more people in, the more people having a good time, the more people enjoying themselves. The stock is the stock. It is the company is the company. Let's have fun, man. Let's have fun while we're together here. Let's have fun. You know.
hell yeah. No, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. Hey, real quick, I just want to put this up here. So I guess I did turn that button on, and looks like 6-8 Spindrift, Julio, and JJ all joined. They're the first members of the channel. So I appreciate that, guys. Thank you very much. I just wanted to make sure and throw that out there. So that's cool. I guess I was over here talking about that shit earlier, like all morning, like, yeah, I turned on this thing and blah, blah. And then people were asking and I went and figured out I
Yeah, I
never turned
heard.
it on.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know how to work this shit, dude. I'm
No,
still
I'm
learning
with you, man.
myself.
It's like I'm too old now. I'm getting a little too old. I remember MySpace. Who had a MySpace? I had MySpace. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's what I know. Prodigy was like the first internet. It took me like forever to learn how to work that when I was like 12, 13 years old.
Bro,
AOL, man, I was beyond AOL. I was already on some other dial-up.
you know what's crazy? You probably still have a MySpace, dude. So we were at this was probably 6 months ago. And my buddy's over here, and we're just hanging out one night drinking and shit. And he's like, "Bro, you still have a MySpace?" And I'm like, "No, I don't." And he searches it, and it's still like, if you never deleted it, it's still on there. I don't have the password. I don't even remember what email it was from, but they went on my MySpace and they were showing me pictures and stuff. And you know what I mean? Like look, you're still on here, and they're clicking through it.
Yeah.
But I don't have the password or the email, so I have no idea. But
No
that's
way to
funny.
recover it. Yeah.
That's funny you bring up which one did you say? Because I remember AOL, but before AOL there was
Prodigy. Wasn't that like the
Prodigy, and then
first
there was
one?
another one
Prodigy.
called CompuServe. You remember that too? That was like
CompuServe, I remember too.
I
Yeah.
think that was
Yeah.
the big competitor with Prodigy at the time. You had to do dial up, and you had to pay by the minute and shit.
That's
That was
right, man.
crazy.
Yeah. And like all that came up was like news articles, and maybe like you could play a couple weird games on there or something. You know what I mean?
Dude,
It was
I
cool.
remember, you know, it was like shit back when AOL again, it was like you had to pay by the minute or whatever, and you had to do all the, it was more just like articles and text based and shit. And then I remember MTV put something out about like they put up a website, right? It was like
Right.
MTV.com or something. So I go click on it, and I'm trying to get on MTV.com, and then I'm young, bro, like probably like fifth grade or something, right?
Right.
This is like when dial up and shit just happened. And so I go turn on to go on MTV.com, and because the internet connection's so slow, like it took like an hour to load the page up, just the front page of the website. And I don't know no better, so I just leave it on there and let it load up. It's trying to load all these images and shit just to get the front page of the website loaded. And I mean, that was like what 60 minutes
Oh yeah, yeah.
of paying
It
for
used to
internet
load up like
time.
this.
My
It used to
mom
be
was
like drip,
pissed, dude.
drip, 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 drip. Yeah.
Yep.
Ridiculous, man. Ridiculous. There's somebody said in the chat, I gotta back it up and find it, but they were like, pump up the jam, pump it up while your feet who is that, man? Pump up the jam.
That's
Who did that? So Technotronic, I think. Technotronic. Am
Yep.
I right? Whoever wrote that in there, let me know if I'm right. Is it Technotronic? Pump up the jam.
Yeah, it is. It was Technotronic, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was,
Nice reference. Yo, so are we doing? I can't see because I'm just like watching you and I can't really see with the bars and all the other shit and what stock is what. Are we going green or are we?
Oh, you don't have it. You don't have it where you could see the actual broadcast.
Yeah, I could see the actual broadcast, but I'm like my eyes ain't so. You know what I
Oh,
mean? Like I
okay. I
can't see
got you.
the.
Yeah, we're trading at 765 right now. We're right back below VWAP. Still green 8 cents on the day, but definitely I'd like to see us get up above 8, you know what I mean? If possible, but it is what it is. I'm in a lot longer than today. You know what I mean? So if it doesn't
Oh
happen
no,
today,
absolutely. I
I'm
was
in
just
for
thinking.
tomorrow. I'm in for next week. I'm in for the next month. I'm gonna continue in this. What you got there?
I was saying maybe we need a juice boost. The juice boost.
Oh yeah.
You know what
Hey,
I'm saying?
bro, you know what, Scotty? I'm gonna go text me next week, right? And I promise you, I'm gonna go get myself one of those little shots, bro, and I'm gonna take them with you next Friday. Uh, but yeah, I think we need the juice boost, bro. I think we do. What do you got today?
All right, man. Let's see. I got Wait, why am I like lagging? Am I lagging? Am I lagging?
You're probably a little bit delayed on the stream. So like when you're talking, I think the stream itself is maybe like 5 seconds, 10 seconds delayed. But
All right,
um,
no sweat. All right, so I got this Black House. I know what it is. I just had to look 3 times to make sure I was gonna do this disgusting thing. Oh, here we go. All right, if I'm gonna do this, I need everybody to like buy a share or something, man. Oh, this is gonna be so nasty. All right, Black House, here we go. Let's give it a rip. Oh, nasty. It was the worst. Oh, it's so nasty. Oh man, I wouldn't even do this shot like when I was like 19 years old or 20 years old sneaking into bars. This was not something that I was trying to Jägermeister. Oh, that was my big thing. Jägermeister all day. Dude, no, I would this is ugh.
what was that? Like some
Oh.
black licorice stuff or something?
I don't know, it's like a blackberry schnapps liquor thing. Oh wait, I'm in the camera. Let's see.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah.
Real nasty. Nasty. Oh.
Oh
Oh.
man.
But now, like now I'm debating whether or not I might have to have like do a vodka drink if I go on Tar Heel later because I'm out of these shot bottles. I got to go get some more myself. But when I load up like 30 at a time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro, you looked like you were knocking them back last week.
Oh, dude, yeah. I think I hit about like 4 or 5 of them just on Friday. And then I was doing like the vodka on top of it, and I ran out of the vodka. It's like then
I started hey co-creator, I see you say you're taking off, bro. Good luck at the doctor's appointment, man. We love you. Hit me up later on,
yo,
bro.
good
Let me
luck,
know how
Co.
it goes. I just want to make sure I say what's up to co-creator before he takes off because I seen him say that. But yeah, man, last week was crazy, bro. So I was, I was working and doing other stuff, and then I I logged on to Tar Heels, and then I seen you were on there, and then I logged back in, and I seen you were still on there. Then I went and grabbed myself a drink and went and jumped on. I'm like, shit, if Scotty's on there, I'm having a drink with Scotty. So then then you hop back on, and then I've never done the Discord thing, like the phone they have, like where they're having a phone
Yo, I was
conversation.
hammered and confused. I had no idea what the hell was going on.
Yeah,
Yo,
so
this is so
well, I
crazy.
think you were off by the time I went on there. So then I was like, I was packing because we were gonna go. We went out of town and stuff, and so I was just doing stuff in my bedroom, and I turned it on speakerphone, and I was listening to the conversation. I think you had already signed off, but they're like, "Oh, you just missed Scotty on here." But yeah, man, no, that's cool, man. It's a really cool community, bro. It really is. I enjoy it, man. And
For
I'm
sure,
glad you're
man.
a
For
part of
sure.
it. And it's just meeting different people, man, like Tar Heel, Ghost, co-creator. I mean, really everybody, but people that I've actually like had the opportunity to speak with on the phone, yourself included. Me and you talked for a long ass time on Friday, after the show. Mac and blah blah. Dark Four, everybody, man, and just everybody, even people I haven't had the opportunity to speak with on the phone, but that, I've talked to in the chat and that we look forward to seeing every day, and it's just cool, man. It really is.
Yeah.
Like, even after all this stuff, hopefully, we'll kind of keep the community going, man, and just, start getting into other stocks and other investments and just keep this we got to have a big party somewhere too. I know Tar
That's.
Heel was
I was
saying
just
that,
gonna
but
say, man. We gotta have like a gathering and a thing, man. It'd be awesome. Be off the chain ridiculous. Off the chain ridiculous. Really cool, man. Like, there's so many dudes that are actually, like I said, I don't really do the Discord that much, but I see a lot of dudes in the Discord that are into like similar music as I am. And I was just talking to the dude yesterday. They got the tattoo and says, what's his name? Sithas, right? On the Discord, they got the tattoo on Tar Heel show.
dude, so I was working yesterday, so I missed it, but I logged on just in time. So like right at the end, I got on. I'm like, oh, I want to see what's going on, and I had just signed on, and I saw Ghost, Tar Heel, and then it was the dude. They had just finished the tattoo right then, and that was so I caught the end of it.
So I was rapping with him on the Discord, right? And look, I listen to like a lot of weird music stuff, right? So I was kind of just rapping with him, and he's saying he has kind of listened to similar stuff. So I threw like some what I consider to be like more obscure like type bands that I didn't really think this dude would know. This dude not only knew it, he shows me the record he's got on one of the bands. I was like, whoa, I was pretty impressed, man. I like, because like it's hard. Like I said, it's hard to find people that like that kind of music. You know what I mean, or as into it as I am. And it's like I've found those people here in the weirdest way through Discord, through a stock that everybody's hanging on to. You know what I mean? It's just cool to make those kind of connections. Is my point. You know what I
Hell
mean?
yeah. No, absolutely, man. And I think we're kind of, we're me and you are like around the same age, man. And it's
Yeah.
I'm in terms of music, just talking about music and stuff. I'm kind of the same way. I mean, I love music and I love all types of music, bro. I mean, I listen to anything and everything. I mean, there's not too
Yeah.
much music that I don't like, and especially older stuff, though. You know what I mean? And I mean,
Yeah.
I I could listen to. There's not too much that you could play that I'm not really gonna like. Real quick, I want to say thank you. Um, got a super chat from Colin. I appreciate it. And also, it looks like Zan, another new member. I appreciate it, Zan, for real. So I just, anyone who's just joining, I just turned on this little membership thing on the channel. I appreciate the support from everybody. All right, bro. But yeah, man, like, I love music. And I know I told you the other day that my son has a drum set. And I've been sitting on there practicing and learning how to play the drums in my spare time too. So, um,
It's fun to just beat on them a little while, right? It's a lot of fun.
yep. Hey, speaking of though, I got 1 minute. I got to sign off, bro, because I got to go get ready for work. So,
Everybody
Scotty,
have
I'm
a
gonna
great
let you sign it
weekend.
off. I'm gonna let you have the last word. So, everybody, for me, thank you. Have a great weekend. Hopefully, we finish green. I'll be joining Tar Heel later on just to watch. I'm not jumping on the show, but I'll be in the chat watching. Make sure you log into him, and then Scotty, go for it, man.
Guys, I want to thank you all again very much. And like Coach B said, he thanks you as well. Stay positive. We're going to end green today. I feel it. You know it. Stay positive. Do your thing. Have a great weekend. Coach B, thank you very much. Have a great weekend, guys. I'll see you guys later on Tar Heel.
All
Take
right.
care.